Welcome back, everybody, to the Renaissance Humanism podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan Riley, and in today's episode, I will be discussing why Israel makes Western liberal nations uncomfortable. The contemporary and the world's only Jewish state, Israel, makes Western liberal nations uncomfortable because it's a nation fought and created for the protection of the Jewish peoples, Jewish faith, along ethnic lines. In modern contemporary state nations, particularly those that are part of the Anglo-speaking peoples, feel incredibly uncomfortable with the kind of attitude that they are against multiculturalism of their multi-ethnic societies they have been trying to build, at least since the 1960s. They are for multicultural society. The United States of America has a sizable and diverse ethnic populations since its wars of independence in 1783. Around 25% of Americans in the period during the American Revolution are descendant of Africans during that time period. Between 1700 and 1775, more than 350,000 enslaved Africans entered American colonies. By the mid-18th century, comprised almost 70% of the population of South Carolina, 40% in Virginia, 8% in Pennsylvania, and 4% in New England. As for Israel, it was a state created for the protection of the Jewish people on this planet. It's the only Jewish state in existence and was built in the aftermath of World War II in 1939 to 1945 and was created in response to the Jewish Holocaust caused by Nazi Germany, which killed over 6 million Jews. We knew another 400 million people who the Nazis also killed in the concentration camps and in the extermination camps due to their warped and twisted ideology and peoples that they perceived and saw as inferior. What makes Israel so uncomfortable for Western liberal nations is that it is a state that takes borders seriously and protects the Jewish faith, ex-Jewish people as an ethnic group, which is fundamentally against the culture of Western liberalism which has existed and what's been built over the past 80 years. In terms of supporting Israel, future generations, the current generation, millennials born between 1981 to 1996, and Generation Z between 1997 to 2010, will see Israel in a very different light than previous older generations. The reason for this is that the current generations, particularly in the United States and other English-speaking nations, are being taught to hate their own country, hate their ethnic group, and hate the society which they and their forebears created. With this attitude towards their nationhood and their peoples, it stands to a logical conclusion that other states like Israel will be demonized, particularly by American race politics, which divide history between the white masters and the enslaved peoples. This is nonsense historically, but it's just the attitude on race and politics which America exports to the rest of the English speaking world and to the rest of the world as well. Thank you for this episode. I hope you found it interesting and informative. Please don't forget to subscribe and peace out.